time for one of our favorite games on the show called What If It Was
a Woman.
Up first, we have... Oh, come on. Looking at that stuff, man.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and some very, very interesting news coming out of He-Man, the new Kevin Smith series. A bit of a gotcha moment, as he quickly was to debunk fellow YouTuber Real Clownfish TV. I'm sorry, Clownfish TV. Excellent channel. Looks like he's been exposed, or is it everybody who's lying? An interesting new story covered by Bounding Into Comics and several others. Talk about the new Master of the Universe. Report Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe revelation will sideline He-Man for Teela. A new report details that Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revelation animated series, set to arrive on Netflix, will sideline He-Man in favor of Teela. The report comes from Screen Rant, who detail the show will pick up where the original 1980s He-Man and Masters of the Universe series left off. However, they note one major difference is that He-Man will certainly be around, but he won't be the main protagonist. Instead, the focus will be on Teela. Shocking. They add, even so, He-Man will still have a large presence, even though the series never did get to explore the final battle between He-Man and his greatest enemy, Skeletor. The report contrasts Kevin Smith's own words after he responded to a rumor that Clownfish TV in March that detailed He-Man would step aside after Teela and his girlfriend would take over. Teela and her girlfriend will take over hero duties.
Am I really gonna defile this grave for
Woke.
Of course I am!
Spicy, spicy, spicy takes. It looks like Clownfish TV was correct. This was back in March 10th. My understanding of Kevin Smith's He-Man series from an alleged insider, Teela is a better He-Man than Adam, and he steps aside to let her and her girlfriend take over hero duties. If true, this won't play well. Kevin Smith would respond to this rumor on Twitter, quote, "As a showrunner, I really could have used these story suggestions before we locked down the scripts," essentially retweeting Clownfish TV to debunk him. Smith would then claim Clownfish TV was posting faux insider info. Instead of posting your faux insider info, here's the real story. Mattel made a behind-the-scenes video featuring our actors recording, so fan took some of Mark and Lena's dialogue and spliced them together in old Funimation clips. However, when Masters of the Universe Revelation was announced at PowerCon in 2019, the initial depiction hinted that Teela would take over the duties. That depiction was shared on Twitter by Pixel Dan. A radical return to Eternia, Revelation is a direct sequel to the series and classic era of Masters of the Universe, featuring fan favorite He-Man, Orko, Cringer, and Man-at-Arms. The story pits our heroic warriors and guardians of Castle Grayskull against Skeletor, Evil-Lyn, Beastman, and the vile legions of Snake Mountain. But after a ferocious battle, however, fractures Eternia, it's up to Teela to solve the mystery of the missing sword of power in the race against time to prevent the end of universe. Her journey will uncover secrets of Grayskull at last. This is the epic He-Man and Masters of the Universe saga fans have waited 35 years for. Really? You got She-Ra, and you ruined that. So now you want to ruin He-Man. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Now, this is not one but two outlets reporting what Clownfish, of course, said. Clownfish, of course, responded, aptly so, saying He-Man will certainly be around. He won't be the main protagonist anymore. Instead, the focus will be on Teela. Screen Rant. Are they lying too? Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. And here's another well-earned gloat. Dang it, Kevin. All that shade, and we were right. Wait a minute. One major difference is that He-Man will certainly be around and won't be the main protagonist anymore. And instead, the focus will be on Teela. Didn't we get called out for saying our insider was telling us this all along?
This is more of a diversion than I intended to make.
I mean, there were articles on comicbook.com that said Kevin Smith debunks He-Man story rumors. And then look at this. Masters of the Universe Revelation isn't a reboot, but a sequel series. It will pick up where the 1980 series left off. One major difference is that He-Man will certainly be around and won't be the main protagonist anymore. Instead, the focus will be on Teela. Even so, He-Man should still have a large presence, even since the series never did get to explore the final battle. So here's the interesting thing. Now, are they going to be right that the main protagonist is now going to have a girlfriend too on top of that? You know, I think you should watch Clownfish TV's video because it's pretty interesting. Because in this video, they talk about a lot of interesting things, some story details that Teela might actually look like. They talk about the neurotic article. Looks like He-Man is stepping aside for Teela, according to Screen Rant. I seem to remember someone was saying this first and getting some backlash. I wonder what the revelation is. I mean, maybe the revelation is that Teela enjoys women. I mean, it would fit the standard of everything going on right now with, you know, the rebooting of old comic books and things like that. But, you know, it's interesting. Geeky Sparkle says, if you're so worried that this isn't true or people are going to get upset that you have to go out and smack down a tweet to the level that they did, and then it turns out that more information comes out to back this up. She continues, maybe not do it in the first place if you know the fans aren't going to like it. Neon ads. This is talking in the video. No, that makes too much sense. That makes it much worse, or doesn't make much sense. Later, Neon adds, after all the drama, it turns out that we were probably right. What do you think about this? Well, I won't be watching it. I mean, I don't understand why they have to, you know, and look, maybe this is wrong. Maybe. But now Screen Rant's coming out and saying it. And interestingly enough, I haven't seen Kevin Smith come out and debunk this. Have you? I mean, nobody else, interestingly enough, you know, Kevin Smith hasn't said that. Back on 11/1 when he retweeted it. Thank you, Kevin, for clarifying. Love Real Clownfish, but I was hoping they were wrong on this. I didn't think you would go the route of destroying a beloved childhood memory. Well, this tweet didn't age well, did it? Liar! None of this aged well. I mean, it's just so interesting to me. You have Netflix handling it, so you know that they're going to want to have their own a bit of an agenda on here. And look, there's nothing wrong with it existing. But if the idea is that you're going to call it He-Man, but you're going to make it about a female character, I mean, were you trying to do that to think we wouldn't notice? Were you trying to avoid possible fan backlash running up to it? It seems like it to me, doesn't it? It seems like Kevin Smith didn't go out of his way. Didn't go out of his way to debunk this one, has he? In fact, he hasn't tweeted he tweeted today, but he took time to talk to the Hollywood Reporter about how he was coping under lockdown. Yeah, living on a giant pile of money, I'm sure. He took time to respond to that about his vegan ice cream, but not about, you know, changing the story and having your own imagining of He-Man. I mean, why call it He-Man at all if he's just going to be a side character? It's just ridiculous. I mean, look, you do your own thing, Kevin Smith. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that while Teela may have a role on the show and it's just not at the expense of He-Man. I think that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that you don't disparage He-Man. Look, He-Man was basically a show that I grew up with. It was my all-time favorite cartoon as a young man. And I know that now it was made to sell toys. I get that now. I didn't know that then, obviously, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm hoping that you don't make He-Man into basically a cuck. And you more worry about more representation than writing good stories. You can have representation in these stories. You can have diversity, obviously. You can have modern touches to it. But please don't ruin He-Man. Like, could you guys just leave these people alone? I mean, every modern day idiot has had their swing at most of the franchises that I loved when I was a kid, and they've all ruined them. G.I. Joe is a shell of what it used to be. He-Man is obviously a joke. She-Ra was a joke. I mean, I don't know how many more you got to have. I mean, Ghostbusters, you ruined that. I mean, it's like, why even call it these things? Just let them be. Let them exist in history and have positive memories. If all you're going to do is take something people love and push your own agendas into it. I hope this is wrong. We'll have to see. But now that Screen Rant reported it, it does prove that what Clownfish TV was reporting. And if so, I promptly await your get woke, go broke moment. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.